Hi, Narragansett boat clubbers. Welcome to the Palms family dinner. We're just sitting here having a wonderful dinner. Wait a minute, what's that sound? Oh my God, and Albin's on the phone. I gotta go, Albin's on the phone. Hey there, fans. Sorry that one, I had to get out of the way so fast there, but I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything Albin's done for us. And be assured that he is as amused as I am about my ringtone. Love you, Albin. We'll miss you. I already do.
Albin, thank you and Eileen for coming to my 94th birthday Wednesday. It was great seeing you, and thank you for the Narragansett Boat Club medal for the oldest rower. Also, it's great to see you in such good form. Well, we wish you all the best on this very important occasion. Franny has an important message for you.
Mwah! Albin, thank you so much for all that you've taught me about rowing. I can show off my river turn in Italy and impress everybody, and I can land at the dock without crashing, and I can strategize my races, and I just can't thank you enough for all you've done over the years helping me with my rowing. Thank you. Albin.
At the end of coaching last summer, I told Albin that he was the best, and he responded, "No, you are." And for the first time in his entire life, Albin was wrong. He is the best.
Albin, I remember a particular early evening barge class a couple of years ago in which you regaled us with stories all the way out to the harbor and back, telling tales of more than 50 years of coaching and rowing on the Seekonk. You seemed to have a story for every inch of the river. You were in rare form that evening, and it was one of my favorite classes of all time. We all know the booming voice and the exacting demands for precision, but that evening exemplified for me what is quintessential Albin, which is your love for the sport of rowing, your generosity in sharing your wisdom and experience with others, your sense of humor, and your intense devotion to NBC. I'm with Hannah on this one. You're the best. Thank you for everything.
Albin, 10 years ago you taught me how to row, but you taught me so much more than that. You taught me how to believe in myself as an athlete again. And for that gift, I will be forever grateful. You know you hold a special place in my heart. And from there, you can never retire.
Congratulations, Albin. Thank you, Albin. We'll miss you.
Hey, Albin, it's Carl. Sorry I can't be with you on this great occasion. It should be a fun time. Thinking back over my time at NBC, the memory that'll always stick with me is you yelling at me, "More body angle, Carl. More body angle, Carl." First day you said it, and the last day I took classes with you, it was still more body angle, Carl. Thanks again for everything. I really appreciate it, and best wishes to you.
Hi, Albin. I just want to tell you that you never know where your influence will end. Before Alan was a junior in high school, you took him under your wing and developed him into a national champion rower. Because Alan was rowing, Barbara and I started rowing. Also because Alan was rowing, his brother Kenneth started rowing. Both of them went on to become national team rowers, where they met and eventually married national team rowers as well. Today we have a family of 10 members. Ken and Sandy have a daughter, Thea, who rows for Wayland Weston. Alan and Chris have 3 sons, all over 6'4", who row in Minnesota very successfully. So, I consider you to be the godfather of the Green Clan.
Hi, Albin. Congratulations on your retirement. This is Alan Green reporting in from Minnesota, where it's a balmy 45 degrees and raining. We just got back from, or I just got back from training for the Head of the Charles. It's crazy. So I'll be out your way racing in the old man division and looking forward to it. But I wanted to take a few minutes to let you know how thankful I am about the opportunities you gave to me way back then, pulling a chunky kid off the couch and showing him what's what with the world, and all those hours training on the river. really changed my life and made me who I am today, as they say. And I also wanted to let you know how you've impacted other people's lives that you may not even know that well. So because you gave me that opportunity and I was able to row on a higher level, I met my wife, Chris, who also was a rower.
Hi, Alvin. Congratulations.
And because of that, we had 3 boys. My middle child, Dylan, who's just got done erging. He's on an erg kick with the fall challenge for Concept 2 and is well over 200,000 K, which is crazy.
Just 200K.
200K, sorry. And then there's my youngest son, Tristan, who is thinking about rowing.
And has sculled a few times.
And has sculled a few times.
And liked it.
And then there's my oldest, Evan, who is stroking the St. Olaf 8 at the head of the Mississippi last weekend, where we all kind of participated. So all of these lives can be connected to pulling that somewhat chunky kid off the couch and getting him to row. So really appreciate all that you've done for me and are wishing you congratulations in your retirement. And thanks.
Hi, Albin. Just wanted to say thanks so much for always believing in me, in my rowing potential. I always appreciated how you would give such great feedback. And sometimes you'd yell, but always for good reason. But always appreciated the encouragement. Thank you.
Hi, Graham. I hope you're having a great time. And I love you. This is my story. I'm so lucky that you take me to the beach in Little Compton. And I love you. And I hope you like me. Because...
Thank you, Albin. 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 Thank you, Albin.
My rowing instruction with Albin began in the winter on the erg. And in retrospect, that had benefits. There was less stuff that you could do wrong, like feather underwater. Albin started the erg class by telling a story. You could tell he had told the story before. He says, Jim Dimitriakis broke the erg. And with a name that unique, although I hadn't heard it in many years, I said, is that the same Jimmy D at Brown? Were you, when you were the coach at Brown, Jimmy D? Because he was in my fraternity at Brown. And sure enough, it's the same guy. And so check out this next video, because I tracked down Jimmy D.
Hello, Albin. Sorry I broke the erg. I think it was that booming voice of yours exhorting us on that got us so fired up that it just had to happen. I wanted to thank you for introducing me to sculling. I'll never forget when I was not allowed to row at Brown anymore, how you welcomed me with open arms to the Narragansett Boat Club. Then I'll never forget how coldly you threw me in the wherry, telling me that I could not even look at or touch a scull until I logged 100 miles in the boat. I felt like the kid in the movie The Karate Kid, painting the fence. And at that time, I did not understand the reasoning behind this, but it had the desired effect, and for this, I thank you. Wish you all the best on your retirement, and hope to see you soon.
So this is message for Albin from Christine Tansey, just to say that I have absolutely fallen in love with rowing. And it all started with you over dinner one night when you asked me what I did in the way of exercise. And I had nothing to say in response, and that was the beginning of my love affair with rowing and also with NBC.
Hi Alvin, I just wanted to say congratulations and thank you for your many years of service. I also wanted to thank you for helping me progress as a coach and a referee. I wish you many happy years.
Hi Albin, this is Davey, and I'm just wanted to say thanks for so much you've done for everybody, and particularly when I've been out on the water. It's always encouragement and I just wanted to say I'm going to get out soon. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Francesca Dow, and Albin taught me to row. I believe it was 2007. And I was not the best rower in the barge, but he never gave up on me. And my favorite Albin story is once we were in an 8 and I heard, "Pull hard on port, Franny," and I thought, who's Franny? And then I realized he was talking about me. And subsequently, all my rowing friends call me Franny. Thank you for teaching me how to row, Albin, and for teaching Harrison how to row. It's been a wonderful experience and community. All best, lots of love.
Love you, Albin. Thank you, Albin.
Happy retirement, Gramps. Always remember to look at the past with fondness and the future with eagerness. Love you.
Hey, Gramps, I was told that you're retiring soon from the boat club. I would like to say congratulations. I know I cannot be there with you, but I wish you well. I wish everything goes well that night for you. Happy retirement. Hope you celebrate. Don't get too crazy, but have a good time at your ceremony. Love you a lot. Bye, Gramps.
Hey, Albin, I just wanted to say it's been a pleasure being friends with you all these years, and you've made a great contribution to rowing and the club here as well. So I've enjoyed our time together, and I hope we have a lot more.
Okay, I've known Albin since 1983 when I joined the club, and I learned progressively that when Albin speaks, you better listen. And he has such a great sense of dry humor, as you can imagine. I have a few anecdotes. I remember back to 1983, so Albin looked at me when I was rowing, and he said, "Well, you know, if you row, probably you row in a very windy country, because you cannot square off your oars." Okay, so it took me about 2 years to figure out he was making fun of me. But 10 years ago, he asked me if I wanted to coach the women's 8. And I said, "Well, it's difficult. I'm still working part-time." And say, "Listen, you know, imagine you can yell at 8 women at one time, at the same time, and they cannot yell back at you." Okay.
Albin, very best wishes and congratulations. I can't believe you're retiring. I want to thank you for teaching me to row. We are all the beneficiaries of your incredible abilities as an educator in building the Learn to Row program, and also your incredible abilities to build the community of which we all enjoy very much.
Okay, Albin, here's the deal. You saved me from an adulthood of 3-mile loops on Blackstone Boulevard. And for that, I'm so thankful, right? Because I found a whole new world at NBC. I basically came for the skills of sculling down to NBC, but I stayed for you. And when I think back to all the times we've had over the last 14 years, I think I can sum it up in this way. In life, there are 2 different kinds of coaches, right? 2 types. The first type of coach is a good coach, and there are so many of them out there. And those are the coaches that teach you how to better your stroke or your swing or your drive or your stride, whatever your sport is. And then there are the coaches that change your life. And that's the kind you are. Because you're the kind of coach that takes a person and helps them to look inward, face their fears, conquer them, face that self-doubt that we all encounter as adults, trying something new, and move through it and feel good about ourselves and believe in ourselves. Thank you for believing in me. And I just want to tell you that you are that kind of coach. You are a great coach. You are a life changer. You changed my life for the better, and for that I'm forever grateful. Love you.
So here we are to celebrate NBC, and just keep in mind what it means to you. What would your life be like without NBC? So NBC is coming on 200 years. which is very unusual. And most organizations like this run out of gas at some point, and that's why there are not many around. So I've learned from the club historian, Peter Wilhelm, that there were times when our membership was down to around 30, and you know, other clubs could just sort of peter out. But I know that Albin Mosier was the force that carried on so that the tide came in again for NBC, and it's what it is today for us. So when we think about what this club means to our lives, we have Albin Mosier to thank.
Hi Albin, it's Liz Head, and I want to first congratulate you for over 40 years of being a fantastic director of rowing and introducing so many people to the sport of rowing, including my two girls. One, as you know, Melissa was a natural and ended up rowing on a college club crew. Carol, on the other hand, was not, and she could even flip a wherry, which is nigh on impossible. And the other thing I want to say is how much you have mellowed over the years. I can remember times when, Albin's on the dock, better come in right, and oh dear, no parking space available at the corners. And having you yell and bellow and put the fear of God in all the rowers. And now you're such a nice, mellow, older man. Thanks. Thanks so much again for all the service to the Narragansett Boat Club.
Hello, Al.
Hello, Al.
It's Marilyn, your sister-in-law.
And Mike, your brother-in-law.
And we've probably known you as long as anyone. Well, certainly maybe from the boat club. So we're going to share a little bit about the old days when Al was rowing and was destined to be right there with all of you. First memory quickly comes to mind. 45 years ago, Al, you were rowing at the head of the Charles. And Mike and I were there with our daughters, Heidi and Holly, who were very young, and your one and only son, Albie, at the time, who was also very young, looking pretty cute sitting on the bank, and ended up in the Boston Globe watching you. So that's a kind of a fun memory, for us anyway. And also, Mike would like to recall you taking him out to teach him how to row.
Yes, we took the next to the largest boat available for somebody my size who had never been in a boat like that. And even though it was quite a challenge, it felt like, you were really destined to help anyone learn how to row. Because if you helped me, it was a short-lived experience, but I still love boats, and I love what you've done with your life when it comes to boats.
Yeah, we just want to say to you that we have always admired your commitment and love for the sport, and your commitment and love to all those who you served at the rowing club and the many students that you had. So Al, enjoy your celebration. You certainly deserve it. And we love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey Albin, I just want to say I was so proud to be one of your angels, and whenever I look at your sweater, my jacket, I always think of you. Have a congratulations.
Hey Albin, I've got lots of great memories with you over the past 30 years, from the infamous Jiffy Lube 8 to taking our 2-erg program into 2 rooms full of ergs. My favorite Albin story is my first year sculling when you were coaching me. I just graduated into a racing single, and I'm listening intently, and you're talking, I'm listening, and you're talking, and all of a sudden I see your eyes flick over my shoulder. I whip around as I get completely wrapped up by the red buoy. Somehow I didn't flip, but after you stopped laughing, you said, the lesson here is always know where you are on the water. And for 30 years, I've never forgotten that. I've always known where I was in the water, and I thank you for that, and I thank you for the past 30 years of friendship and mentorship, and I look forward to many more.
Albin, when I row, I hear your voice in my head. When impatient, I hear it's time in the seat. For bad water, of course we're going out. For racing, you know what you gotta do. When landing, can't you land in the middle of the dock? You don't need an airplane runway. But most of all, I hear your high expectations and standards, both in the boat and out. I am much more confident and strong woman because of you. Thank you. Enjoy your time off the water. Bye.
Despite his incredible growl, Albin is one of the most caring people I know. He is a teacher of teachers. He is a coach of coaches. He's the kind of person who parents adults who actually are looking for that kind of care and that kind of goal setting and guidance. I love him to pieces. Thank you, Albin.
Hey, Albin. So in 2010, I met you at an open house, ended up in your Zephyr class, and then many other singles classes after that. Just want to thank you for everything that you've taught me, and I know that if it wasn't for you, I would have given this whole thing up after I flipped my single for the very first time. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for me and everything that you've done for NBC.
Hi. As a new member at NBC, I haven't had the benefit of spending a lot of time with Albin. However, I will tell you that the open, warm, and supportive atmosphere at NBC is clearly due to the strong leadership and mentorship that Albin has provided over many, many years at NBC. Thanks, Albin.
So my best memory of Albin is I was still a pretty new rower, and it was one afternoon we were going out in the 8, and the weather looked terrible with forecasts of thunder and lightning, but we went out anyway. We went north, and we were told if we saw lightning to just let Albin know. And there he is in his metal launch, very tall. And so we are up in Pawtucket, and suddenly we're turning south, and so we're all facing Pawtucket, and there are the lightning bolts coming down. And he said, well, row! And off we went. We rowed so fast, but it was truly terrifying. But we made it, and boy, is Albin intrepid. Thanks, Albin.
Hi, Albin. I'm here at the bookstore, and I want to say from both Peter and I that we wish you the happiest in your next phase in life. We will miss you so much at the boathouse. You have meant so much to both of us in so many ways. You were my boss back in the 80s when I taught Eric and the junior program and the adult beginner sculling, which was such a hoot. And you taught me how to teach, which I think is a huge part of who I am and how I approach, coaching and teaching in my life and my children. And you, of course, coached Corliss, who adores the ground you walk on, and that has always been, something that we share. I could go on for hours and hours, but you are very well loved in the Gross household, as well as I know everywhere else. So lots of love to you.
I've gone out with Albin in his classes in semi-gales, and it was always a challenge, but Albin was always there. He was a terrific coach. And what I really appreciated more than anything was how he met you where you were. It didn't matter whether, none of us are going to be in the Olympics for the most part, except the very young kids. None of us are. We're all trying to be our best. And Albin, that was his motto. He wanted every rower to really try hard, and he helped them. And I just thought he was the best. I loved it when he yelled at me. It was great. It made my day. It didn't frighten me. It just made me feel like he cared. So Albin, you really encouraged me. And I remember one time when I was really afraid of doing the Charles in a single, and I explained all this to him, and I went into great depth about why I was afraid. And he paused, and he waited a minute, and he said, suck it up. And then he turned around and walked away, and it was just what I needed to hear. Thank you, Albin.
When I first joined the boat club, we had 4 racing singles.
one trash double, a training single, and the boat club has really grown since then. And besides the physical difference in the boat club, the biggest thing is the number of people that Albin has touched over the years.